Hello, everyone, and welcome to Soar to Fly podcast. This is Marshall. It's been a while since I've been on podcasts. I've been very busy lately. A lot of things is going on, but nevertheless, it is so great to be with you all again. Just sharing some great nuggets and some things that has been on my mind lately. And today's topic is choose your battles wisely. If you choose your battles wisely, you are selective of the problems, arguments, and confrontations that you get involved in. Sometimes it's wiser to save your time and effort only for the things that matter than to choose to fight every problem. Another variation of this phrase, pick your battles. Choosing your battles often balances on a thin line between knowing when to take something further and when to turn away. Choosing your battles often balances on a thin line between knowing when to take something further and when to turn away. First thing, number one, you should evaluate the problem. Now, believe it or not, most of the things that disrupts us on a daily basis are small, petty things with no impact in the long run. This includes toxic people and people who try to get you down. When faced with a problem, you might want to ask yourself, is this problem really important? Do I need to deal with it? Can my time be better spent elsewhere? One time, a friend of mine, someone who I thought was a friend, bad-mouthed me in front of a business acquaintance. Now, this acquaintance was someone whom I might be collaborating with, and for this friend to badmouth me in front of someone who just knew me was in a pretty poor taste. And after thinking about it, I decided to just move on, but not without cutting off that friend first. I realized that I have many things to worry about in life, and it wasn't worth for me to waste my mental energy on someone who had been causing me anguish throughout the course of our friendship. Now, I have come across my fair share of weird folks in friendship circles. And for example, once I met a very successful businesswoman who kept bragging about herself and insulting me and other people she knew. And in our 2-hour conversations, she insulted the way I dress, sneered about my job title as a supervisor, and dismissed the value of me wanting to further my career in writing. All entirely unwanted remarks. Now, given that my past few encounters with her were the same, I reckon it was pointless to refute or pick a fight because her comments seemed to stem from an inferiority complex rather than any truth. Instead, I made the mental note to cut away this person to prevent any more such incidents. If you're facing a conflict, consider this. You have only 24 hours each day, and only a few of these hours can be productive hours. How do you want to spend your time? Do you want to feel angry about someone who's not worth your time in the first place? Now, feeling angry about petty things that would not matter a few years from now? Or spending your time on seeds that would blossom and grow? The former will only make you feel more negative about yourself. The latter will shape your life for the better. Let me say that again. The former will only make you feel more negative about yourself. The latter will shape your life for the better. Now, should you decide to pick the battle, work towards a win-win situation where both of you will emerge victoriously? Some of you may be surprised by my suggestion. Why a win-win and not a win-lose? Why help my opponent win, you may think. Even though I use battle as an analogy, I encourage you to think about your opponent as an ally, your friend. The reason is just that simple. When you have a mindset to squash others, you adopt a scarcity mindset that's rooted in lack, where there must always be a winner and a loser, where there is a lack of opportunities for everyone. While this mindset may seem normal in today's hyper competitive world, but thinking this way will only box you into limitations. There are unlimited opportunities in the world, and it's up to us to find these opportunities and create them. Now, these needs to first come from an abundance mindset, not a scarcity one. On the other hand, when you focus on win for everyone, you attract opportunities and abundance. You also share positivity and love with others. Now, the battle isn't against your opponent, but the conflict. Let me say that again. The battle isn't against your opponent, but the conflict. If you are frustrated with your boss, talk to him or her and find a way to match both needs. If you're angry with your partner or spouse, don't try to make things difficult by being passive aggressive or using passive aggressive methods. Talk to him or her and work out your differences where both of you can achieve your goals together. If you're angry with your friend, but you want to preserve the friendship, talk to them and let them know your struggles with the friendship. Adopt this win win mindset for conflicts with anyone. Ask yourself, what is the scenario where everyone will be happy? What is the scenario where everyone will win? Then work towards that outcome. Let me give you a few more tips to have an open discussion. Seek to understand. Everyone has different views, okay? And you want to understand what their views are. Don't override their opinions just because they are different than yours. Understand what they are and why that person thinks that way. Share your views and let the person have a chance to share theirs. Bridge the divide by sharing your thoughts first. Then invite the person to share their views, okay? Ensure that each of you have an equal chance to share your views, to ask questions, and to understand each other. Be supportive as the other person is sharing their views. Nod. Acknowledge. Acknowledge what they are saying and thank them. Brainstorm the best solution. Make it clear that you care about the other person and you want to create a win-win outcome for everyone. Work together to brainstorm the best solutions, given both your needs. Okay? Now, here's the good one. Ground yourself in high consciousness. Don't get angry. Let me say that again. Ground yourself in high consciousness. Don't get angry. Once you decide to engage in that battle, ground yourself in high consciousness to achieve the best outcome for both of you. Remember, your goal is to achieve a win-win, not to bring your opponent down. The enemy here is the conflict at hand, not the other person. Now, yet when in a conflict, it can be hard to remain conscious. Sometimes emotions run high and you may say things that you don't mean. Unaired grievance may open up. You may feel like attacking the other person, or even if you logical, know that this is not the goal. You may also feel like abandoning this battle too if the person is not cooperative. Now, I have some few tips to manage this. Before you enter that battle, imagine you are in a calm, peaceful place. I know that's just, hard to be, but this can work if you try it. Now imagine you're in a calm, peaceful place and no one can hurt you or take you away from this place unless you let them. If there are hurtful words hurled at you, try 1 or 2 times to engage in a peaceful way. Say this. I understand that you are angry, but let's keep this civil. I want to achieve the best outcome for both of us, so let's work together to make this work. And if you feel that you're losing your cool, stop talking. Stop talking and try to compose yourself. Imagine yourself in a different place, and you're here to successfully carry out this discussion. Okay, you're trying to find a win-win in this situation in a peaceful manner. Now, all battles can be won if you have unlimited resources. But listen, the reality of it all is that we don't have unlimited resources. We don't. We can't spend forever working on a problem if it's not progressive, if it's not progressing to the next level, despite our best effort. Have a cut-loss point that tells you, you know what? Okay, that's it. Time to cut my losses and move on. This is the point where you exit the battle because you have incurred your maximum losses. You have exhausted every avenue to make a peaceful solution, and you don't want to invest any more time or energy into this. Now, there was once when a time when my late husband and I got ripped off of, $40 in Dubai, which it accumulated dinar in Dubai. The cab driver made us use the fact that we were not familiar with the local currency and lied to us about the bill, which was supposed to be the US dollars, $4, but he robbed us of $40 US dollars. I remember he was smiling, snarkling to himself as he took the money from us. And while this is not a lot of money in general, this amount goes a long way in Dubai. And we were more peeved with the dishonesty of the driver than anything. It was also my late husband's birthday, and we felt irritated to have met such a dishonest person during a celebratory event. When we got to the hotel, our hotel staff was helpful and tried to track down that driver, trying to review the cameras or calling the suspect back to our hotel, but it didn't happen. It was no avail. And after an hour of back and forth, and I just told my husband, you know what, just let this go. Since there's no way for us to locate this guy, even looking at the footage, and because it was blurry and the driver was unlikely to step forward, even if we did an open call through the cab company. So the amount was $40 as working adults. It was easy for us to earn that back. So we just said, you know what? We're going to cut our loss, especially in a foreign land. So we let go of the incident and enjoyed the rest of our trip. And I was glad to do so as it was getting draining. It was draining, and our whole thought process was to celebrate my late husband's birthday. And maybe we could have found the driver, and maybe we could have zoomed in, the footage, but we just cut our losses. And the chance of our success, it was easy for us to move on and focus on the bigger things that we had already planned. Now, the next thing that you must do, the next step, is to let go of unresolved problems. If the problem remains unresolved despite your best effort, let it go. Success comes not from winning every battle, but learning to let go when it's time to do so. While the previous example that I said is about knowing when to exit when things don't go your way, this tip here is about letting go. Just because you stop fighting a problem doesn't mean that you have to let go of it mentally. Example, one time I had a friend who was having a conflict with her boss and her coworkers, and they kept talking behind her back and backstabbing her and giving her issues, and the environment was very cliquish, and she just couldn't fit in. Wow, she felt deeply troubled and even cried in the office at one point. And after that, she focused on her career, the next steps ahead. She worked on her resume and started looking for a new job. Eventually, she found a job with better pay and better work conditions. She had since been working there for almost like 2 years and enjoyed her work and her coworkers. On the other hand, if she focused on feeling unhappy and angry with her coworkers, she would have never found her new job. So, for you, let me ask you, how can you let go? Acknowledge your feelings. So things didn't go your way. How did you feel? Did you feel sad, angry, disappointed? Write down these feelings. Understand why you are feeling this way. There's a reason why you feel aggravated or angry. Why do you feel this way? What do you feel unjust about? Dig into that root issue. Maybe you feel disrespected, or maybe the situation confronts one of your fears, or maybe it deals with something that matters a lot to you. Uncovering the root issue will help you to understand and let go. Work on your new path forward. Since the conflict cannot be resolved to your satisfaction, what can you do to move forward? Identify new ways to move forward. And with my friend, she couldn't resolve the conflict with her boss or coworkers, and she found out the next best step was to look for a new job, which worked out great for her. So that may be something that you may have to do in order to move forward, is to let go, change your focus onto something better. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end this podcast. This is Soar to Fly, and you all have a great day, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.